Hello, welcome back. It's G-Man, My World 67. Welcome to another episode. Well, today we're going to call this new project Monday. You remember that Canadian Pacific that I showed, I believe, on last week, and I made a new scone for it, or clearance light, if you will. That MARX engine. There is that clearance light. And you can see I went ahead and I cut 2 slots in it. Just let you see, if you can, it's white on the inside, and you can see that it's been bent down in the back to modify it. And that slot right now is open again. And here is that original and you see the difference. Now I could have went to the trouble and cut down, made a little, won't stand up, made these a little smaller on the bottom to secure it, to fasten it down. But I left the full one on the ones that I made. That way I've got even more there to make it even more secure. But you see how close they are in resemblance. Now you can even get that if you wanted to take the time. I made that one kind of quickly. If you wanted to take the time to just put a little more attention into that, it could look almost even closer to the manufactured one. But I think they're close enough. Okay. Now we have those 2 scones, which you see I painted blue, and the Canadian Pacific I painted 2 shades of blue also. Get that turned around for you so you can see the other side. I made these extra rods here, and they're actually supported by these skirts, and these will actually hold the motor in place once we put the motor in. Once we reset the motor and put the motor in. Still got some more little painting and touch-up to do. I left the inside of the cab black, as you can see. I was thinking about putting a little boiler up in here, which I might later. And I've got to touch this coupler up. And then I decided to go ahead and do me a Canadian Pacific tender. So I took this tender, it's a 4-wheel tender currently. Later on I might change it to a 4-wheel tender, or I might get a normal standard Canadian Pacific tender and repaint it and use it. But this is what I have right now. This is a 5.1 tender. This is one of the unusual ones. It has the dip down here in the back and this dip surface here with the painted and raised port oil and all the things on top of the tender. Nice cold load. I made my Canadian Pacific name boards, and they are just paper decals. Made them on my computer. And I'm going to redo these couplers. And they're going to either be black or silver. Or I might paint them dark blue. Who knows? Just to be different. Okay, so I wanted to share that with you. I'm just putting this back together. It's not completely dry yet. So I don't want to handle it too much. Now this engine I painted and I finished it on Saturday. And so it's just about really completely dry now, cured. And I painted it and I put it in the oven for 35 minutes and baked it on. And as you can see, I did not do the inside of the shell, just the outside. We painted these side skirts. And I've decided to put a smoking unit in it. So this Canadian Pacific will have a smoking unit out of a 1666. And I had to do some custom fit with it in order to make it so that it would work. I had to first cut these slots out, cut them in a little deeper, about over the center of the wheel. I had to make no adjustments on the front of this except to extract the light from it. And I'm going to have to put a digital light in it, and I don't have any right now. So it will not be lighted currently. But we'll come back at a later time once it's completed. We'll come back at a later time and put a light in it and let you see it with the light in it. Now this is a 1666 motor. I didn't have to do a lot to it. Just clean it real good. Check the brushes on it and oil it. And so it's ready to go. It's ready to be installed. Also, I took and I painted all of this flat black. The engine, the smoke unit rather, painted it flat black. Where this would normally be the mounting, that is where these will hook up to. Okay, let me put this camera in position and let's get started with some of the assembly. Okay, I also had to reverse this. This is where the rear truck attaches, and this was flipped over this way, so I had to bend it back over the other way. Now be careful if you should do this. You want to be careful with this, because if you bend this back and forth too much, or you bend this too far or too fast, it will snap or crack on you. And if it does that, of course, then it's of no use to you unless you're able to solder it back on or something. So in order to get this in here, I also had to make some changes. I had to cut out, do a little cutout on each side of the bottom of the boiler here in order for the smokestack to fit into the shell properly. Let me turn it over here just a little bit so I can see if I've got it in the right place. Yep. Now you can see these side rods will line up with the engine.